Okay, stop what you're doing right now, because if you've watched Heavenly Delusion and you think you understand what happened to Kiruko, I promise you, you don't. Not fully. What this show did with one character is genuinely one of the most wild body swap stories in anime history, and nobody is talking about it the way it deserves to be talked about. So today, we fix that. This is the full truth behind Kiruko's body swap in Heavenly Delusion. And trust me, by the end of this video, you are going to see this character in a completely different way. So, first things first, let's set the scene. Heavenly Delusion drops us into a post apocalyptic Japan that looks stunning but is absolutely terrifying. Monsters called Hiruko are roaming the outside world, most of civilization has collapsed, and in the middle of all this chaos, we meet two main characters, Maru and Kiruko. Now, Maru is a young guy on a mission to find a place called Heaven, and Kiruko is his guide, a skilled, sharp, completely capable fighter who carries a weapon that can actually kill these monsters. On the surface, Kiruko looks like a young woman, confident, competent, a little bit mysterious. And for a while, the show lets you just accept that. But then, and this is where Heavenly Delusion pulls the rug from under you, we find out the truth. Kiruko is not who she appears to be. Okay, so here's where it gets insane. The body that we see, that female body that Kiruko is walking around in, that belonged to someone else. Her name was Kiriko, a girl, a real girl who existed before all of this. But the mind, the soul, the personality inside that body, that belongs to her older brother, Haruki, a boy, who somehow ended up trapped inside his little sister's body after a catastrophic event connected to the Haruko monsters. Let that sink in for a second. The character we have been following this entire time is a boy living inside his sister's body. He took her name, Kiruko, as a combination of both their names, Kiriko and Haruki. He kept going, he adapted, he became someone completely new while carrying the weight of losing his sister in the most brutal way possible. This is not just a body swap gimmick. This is a character. This is trauma. This is survival. And Heavenly Delusion tells this story with so much nuance that most people don't fully process it until way after the episode ends. Now, here's what makes Kiruko genuinely one of the most interesting characters in recent anime. It's not just what happened, it's how Kiruko deals with it. Because think about this. Haruki wakes up in a body that isn't his, a body that belongs to his sister who is now gone, and he has two choices: fall apart or keep moving. And Kiruko keeps moving. There's this constant tension in the character between identity and survival. Kiruko uses she/her pronouns in the world of the show, not because the show is making some grand statement, but because that's just the reality of existing in that body, in that world. And yet the show never lets you forget that inside there is a boy grieving, a brother who lost someone irreplaceable, someone who is the body swap every single day. The weapon Kiruko carries, that adds another layer. It was designed specifically to kill Hiruko monsters, and it connects directly to the mystery of how the body swap happened in the first place. The same event that created the monsters may be the same event that transferred Haruki's consciousness into Kiriko's body. The show hints at this brilliantly without spelling it out completely, which is honestly peak storytelling. So now that we've broken all of this down, let's talk about why it matters going into season 2. Because Heavenly Delusion season 2 is coming and Kiruko's story is far from over. Here's what we still don't fully know. We don't know if Kiriko, the original owner of the body, is truly gone, or if some part of her consciousness still exists somewhere. We don't know the full extent of the connection between the Hiruko monsters and the body transfer. And most importantly, we don't know what happens to Kiruko's identity if they ever find a way to reverse what happened. Would Haruki want to go back after everything, after building a new identity, new relationships, a new purpose? That question alone could carry an entire season of storytelling. And then there's Maru. The dynamic between Maru and Kiruko is one of the most quietly complex relationships in the show. Maru knows. He knows what Kiruko is dealing with. And he doesn't treat it as weird or wrong. He just accepts Kiruko as Kiruko. That kind of unconditional acceptance in a post apocalyptic world where everything is chaos, that hits different. Season 2 has everything it needs to make Karuko's arc one of the greatest character journeys in anime. The foundation is already there. The question is whether they deliver. So there you have it. The full truth behind Kiruko's body swap in Heavenly Delusion. A story about identity, loss, survival, and what it means to keep going when everything that defined you has been taken away. Kiruko is not just a body swap character. Kiruko is one of the most human characters in anime right now. And that is not something I say lightly. If this video opened your eyes to just how deep this show goes, smash that like button because it genuinely helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this. We are just getting started. And drop a comment below. Do you think Kiruko would want to go back to their original body if they could? I want to hear your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.